Greetings and salutations. This is the Adjutant, and today we need to have a serious conversation about one of the most misunderstood military retirement rules there is, because every single week I hear service members repeat this misunderstanding over and over again. And the problem is some people are making retirement decisions, financial decisions, career decisions based on information they don't fully understand. And when you misunderstand military retirement, you can lose years of financial stability. You can delay retirement, and unnecessarily, you can make emotional decisions instead of strategic decisions. And in some cases, you can cost yourself hundreds of thousands of dollars over your lifetime. Now, here's the crazy part. Most of the people spreading this misinformation aren't trying to hurt anybody. A lot of them genuinely believe what they're saying, but military retirement has layers to it. And if nobody ever sets you down and explain those layers clearly, it becomes very easy to misunderstand the system. So today, I want to just slow things down and explain the military retirement rule that most people misunderstand. And more importantly, I want to explain how to think strategically about retirement instead of emotionally, because those are two different things. Now, before we go further, let me say this clearly, folks. Military retirement is one of the greatest retirement systems in America. I don't care what people say online. I don't care what frustrated veterans say in comment sections. I don't care what bitter people say after bad financial decisions. The military retirement system, when combined properly with VA disability, TSP investing, Social Security, and intelligent debt management, can create one of the strongest retirement structures in the country, but only if you understand the rules correctly. And one of the biggest misunderstandings centers around the idea that is military retirement enough? Now, listen carefully. That question is actually the wrong question. The better question is, what role is military retirement supposed to play? Because military retirement was never designed to do everything by itself. That's the misunderstanding. Now, a lot of people leave the military expecting their pension to completely replace their working income. That was never the design. Military retirement is meant to become a foundational layer of income, a base layer, a stability layer, and guaranteed income floor. That changes everything psychologically. See, people who misunderstand the retirement system often compare military retirement to their active duty paycheck. That's the mistake, because your active duty paycheck included BAH, BAS, special pays, deployment entitlements, and tax advantages, and often dual income households. Retirement was never meant to mirror all of that exactly. Retirement was designed to reduce the amount of earned income you require. That completely is a different concept. And once you understand that, the whole retirement picture changes. Now, let's walk through this practically, okay? Let's say someone retires as an E7 or an 04. They receive military retirement, VA disability, TSP growth, and eventually Social Security. And suddenly, they may need not actually exceed six-figure civilian job anymore. Maybe they only need part-time income. Maybe they work because they want to, not because they have to. Maybe they start a business. Maybe they start a YouTube channel. Maybe they consult. Maybe they teach. Maybe they finally just breathe. That's what people misunderstand. Retirement isn't always about replacing every dollar. Sometimes retirement is about replacing pressure. And there's a major emotional difference between those two things. One of the saddest things I've seen over the years is watching people who earned retirement but never psychologically trusted it. So they stay trapped in fear of slowing down, fear of leaving military service, fear of not having enough, fear of uncertainty, And because of that fear, they never fully enjoy the freedom they actually earned. Now, folks, don't misunderstand me. I'm not telling everybody to retire irresponsibly. I'm not telling anybody to ignore inflation. I'm not telling anybody to avoid planning. What I am telling, or what I am saying actually, is this. Military retirement works best when you understand what it was intended to do. It was designed to give you leverage, not dependency, and there's wisdom in that. Distinction, understand that. Now let's connect this to the TSP, the Thrift Savings Plan, okay, for a moment, because this is where the misunderstanding becomes financially dangerous. Some people ignore TSP because they think, you know what, I got a pension, things are working. Other people panic because they think the pension won't be enough. Also wrong thinking. The real strategy is stacking systems. What do I mean by that? Okay. You have your VA disability, your TSP, your Roth IRA, Social Security. You have low debt, controlled lifestyle inflation. That combination is powerful. And when you understand that, you stop looking at retirement emotionally and start looking at it mathematically. After decades in government service, the military, the VA, the legal profession, I've watched people with enormous salaries retire terrified. I've watched modest earners retire peacefully. The difference usually wasn't income. The difference was clarity. The people who understand how pieces kind of fit together usually had more. The people who constantly move the goalposts emotionally usually stayed anxious no matter how much money they made. And that's far bigger than military retirement. That's a life lesson. So, if there's one thing I want you to understand from today's video is this. Military retirement was never supposed to carry your entire life by itself. It was designed to become a stabilizing foundation, a layer of protection, a layer of freedom, a layer of dignity after decades of service. And when you combine it intelligently with other systems available to you, it becomes extraordinarily powerful. But only if you stop misunderstanding what the system was designed to do. And that is the part most people never explain. Now, if you enjoyed this video, I want you to watch my next video, what 20 years of service actually gives you, because that video connects directly with what we discussed today. And I also recommend my Military Retirement Explained playlist, where I break down pensions, VA disabilities, BRS, High 3, and long-term retirement strategy in plain English. And so there you have it. I hope this has been helpful. This is the Adjutant, and I'll see you in the next one. I wish you all blessings and blessings. Shalom.